पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्चित् जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीता मा गृधः कस्यचिद्धनम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती वीणामविद्यवतु। ॐ चोदयित्री सूनृतानां चेतन्ती सुमतीनां यज्ञं ददे सरस्वती। ॐ असतो मा सत्समय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनस्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। सर्वेऽत्र सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
With this auspicious start, we are good to go. Institution's Innovation Cell of KJ Somaya College of Science and Commerce welcomes you all for our today's session. Thank you for taking the time and joining us today as we talk about basics of personal finances of entrepreneurs. Before I begin with our webinar, I would like to invite the convener of Innovation Ecosystem, Mr. Jaideep Wable sir, to address the audience.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Let me know, just I want to confirm I'm audible, everyone?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So, Ministry of Education, Government of India has established an innovation cell with the purpose of systematically fostering the culture of innovation, and that in all higher education institutions across the country. And in order to encourage the creative energy of our students population to work on the new ideas and innovation, and to promote them to create a startup and entrepreneurial ventures, we, KJ Somaya College of Science and Commerce, have established Institutions Innovation Cell, which is abbreviated as IIC, in the year of 2019-2020. And that IIC, which is the flagship program of Ministry of Education, Government of India. And in that year, 2019-2020, we secured a 1 star, a single star out of 5 stars, because we have just started in that year. Next year, in 2020-21, we have achieved 2.5 star out of 5 stars. So we have increased our talent, or increased our established so that we can achieve the 2.5 star. And the main purpose to establish IIC is to create the vibrant, innovative ecosystem in the campus. And we are organizing different activities in our campus through online or through offline. And I'm very much happy that our college has secured a band performer in the category of ARIA. So ARIA is the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements, which is an initiative of the Ministry of Education, Government of India, which is implemented through AICT and MOU's Innovation Cell in order to systematically rank all major higher education institutions and universities in India on the incubators related to promotion and support of innovation and entrepreneurship development, which is among the students and faculties. So in this ARIA ranking, the MOV's Government of India places KJ Somaiya College of Science and Commerce under the band performer category, which is the second category throughout the fourth category. So that is the biggest achievement of our cell in the current year. So this today's topic will definitely help us in order to nurture the developing entrepreneurs, startups in their personal finance. And I must thank to Ms. Asha Tolkar Madam for accepting our invitation. So without taking your time, I would like to stop here. Over to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So as we talk about personal finances of entrepreneurs, may it be the grown-ups or as youngsters, we are always struggling with financial management. And being an entrepreneur, well, adds up to it. But what if we all learn to manage our finances properly? Things would be so much better, na? So for that, who better than a Joe Stock speaker, renowned for her content creation about personal finances on Instagram? I bet everyone already know who it is. Well, presenting to you our today's speaker, none other than Miss Ashna Tolkar, aka the Money Lancer. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. Thank you for such a great introduction. And you guys have already introduced me, so I don't have to introduce myself again. But yeah, sure. I would like to know, like, let's just, break this through. Like, who wants to become an entrepreneur and who wants to do jobs? Like, you can just send in your chats through chats or just raise hands, whoever wants to become an entrepreneur. Let's just make it interactive. Is the chat section open?
It is.
Great. So send in who all wants to become entrepreneurs and who all want to do jobs. I'm very curious. I guess the chat section is not working on.
No, chat section is working. Actually, they have raised their hands.
Got it. Okay. Amazing. Like a lot of people, like few people want to become entrepreneurs, assuming. So do you have the experience and knowledge to become an entrepreneur and to execute your startup? Let's just make it interactive, guys. Like you can put in chats. Exactly. So you do have a degree, but you don't have a knowledge. So you want to learn how to build a startup, right? So basically the very simple thing you can do here is go intern in a startup. Just see how these people operate. Even if it's an unpaid internship, you just get to learn out of it. It's either money or either you get to learn something out of it. It's two things out of working a full-time or working in a startup. So do these things first, like work in a startup, see how they operate, how innovative their ideas are and how they execute their plans. So from here, now you all know that how startup is planned and executed, and to execute, you actually need money. So just on the basis of PPT, investors won't invest in your startup. Okay, I have experienced this. And apart from that, you need to have your app ready or maybe your business ready to, and you also need to have few users ready so that you can pitch in towards the investors. So there are very minimum chances of this happening, that investor sees your PPT and he's very impressed and he'll fund your startup. So you need to have your app ready or your business ready, the business model ready, and you have to have your users ready too. Now, while I was watching a YouTube video, I heard a very interesting quote, which is still stuck in my head, that if you don't have money and if you don't save at that point of time, you won't be able to save even when you have money. So do you get the point? Like, जब तक आपके पास पैसे नहीं है, अगर आप फिर भी सेव नहीं करते हो, तो आपके पास अगर पैसे आएंगे तभी भी आप सेव नहीं कर पाओगे. So it is a habit to save money basically. It is built, and you should actually inculcate saving, and just not saving, you also need to invest your money. This is the major point that every student needs to know, every individual, not just student. So now coming on to the main topic, like how to build a personal financial plan. This is the for entrepreneurs, this is the main point, right? और मेजरली लाइक जब स्टार्टअप हम क्रिएट करते हैं तो हमारा मेजर पॉइंट रहता है कि हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है. दिस इज द मेजर प्रॉब्लम दैट आई हैव हर्ड फ्रॉम एवरीवन, राइट? So the number one thing that you should do is having multiple sources of income. Now you can do a full-time job, you can do a part-time job. So I usually prefer doing a part-time job so that you do have the time to work on your startup, build your startup, plan and implement few things for your startup. And be it full time, you still have like from 9 to 5, let's say you still have 7 to 10 to work towards your startup. So building multiple sources of income. So you can also do freelancing at night. I usually did that while I was building my own startup as well. So this is the number one point, that having multiple sources of income. Now comes down to second point, that is money management. So let's say talking about savings account, कितना मिलता है आपको? Like I want you to put it down. Savings account में कितना मिलता है? Fixed deposits में कितना मिलता है? And does it beats inflation? Savings, fixed deposit and inflation part. Exactly, like this does not even beats inflation. So instead of investing your money towards such a financial instrument, go towards investing towards mutual funds, or let's say if you understand stock market. So usually what co-founders or founders do is that they trade their money. Although I'm not suggesting that you should trade without any information or without any knowledge and without any practical experience, but this is how I have seen a lot of my friends who are entrepreneurs generating cash flows for their own startup. So they trade, they invest in stock market, and then they get their money. So you can, if you don't have that much knowledge, then you can eventually put your money towards a mutual fund, which generates approximately 15%. Like index fund itself gives you 14-15%. So let's say mutual fund will obviously give you somewhere around 18 to 20%. So this is very important, that you need to understand that your money should work for you and you should not work for your money. Now come down to our point number 3, is work on execution for your idea. Now you have 4 to 5 months of income. Let's say you have worked in a part-time job or a full-time job or a freelancing at night. You have done all of this and you have 4 to 5 months of income which you've invested. Diversification is the key, which we have already done by investing in mutual funds and other financial instruments, right? Now to multiply your money, the only thing is to build your startup. Now if you want that 100 times, 200 times growth, then startup is the key. The growth is of course dependent on how much work that you put in, how much skills that you have, and how much do you learn out of it, right? Your skills basically help you build your own startup. Without having skill, it is not practically possible for you to build a startup. You need to have skills, so you need to put in time. Now if a lot of people have asked me how should I learn about stock market. There is this amazing website which is free of cost, okay? Varsity by Zero. I know many of you guys might know this amazing website. Like I started my work from there. I had zero knowledge about finance. Let me tell you my story, let's say, okay? So I was not at all interested in finance at the first place. I had to choose between, if you all are a BMS student, I'm sure you might know this, that you have to choose between marketing, HR, and finance. So HR, to any which ways I didn't want it to do. Marketing was like, I was a part of fest in my own college. I'm also from Somaya, so I did this Zenith Ka fest where I had to do marketing for my own college, where I was like, nahi, this is not my thing. The last option was finance, so I chose finance, and it was so intriguing. Like, I kept learning about it, and Varsity by Zero, that was my first platform where I started to actually understand things. So it's a very bomb website that you can say you can learn from. Apart from that, there are YouTube channels like CA Rachna Ranade, Pranjal Kamra. Yeah, this is basically the you know point where you can learn about finance, and everyone should actually understand. So yeah, so I am not a techie, but I have worked for a tech product. So do small execution, do cost cutting, and try to get your MVP live as soon as possible. So this is the first product any user can have, any users can use for, in a beta stage. I hope you all know what is MVP, minimum viable product, that you need to show or showcase towards your investors and get few users uh, for the testing purpose. So आपने पैसे तो लगा दिया, आपने MVP भी ready कर लिया. Now you want to work full time towards this startup. You have few users, you made little money out of that startup, and now you trust that product that this will work. Of course, now for your startup to go from 0 to 1, from an MVP stage to a business stage, go get that startup grants that you get. Like, these days there are so many competitions even in our own colleges as well. So win that competition, win that prize money that you get, and then invest that money as well into the startup. So this is one way to get money through prize grants and all, and you can put it into the startup. So next part is you can go and pitch to VCs and angel and pitch your business idea. This can be done only after having an MVP ready. Like, I have done so like 100 plus investor pitches, and every single time the only problem which I faced was that you don't have credibility, you are too young. This is the one problem which I faced. So having a member who is a little bit senior from your age, or a little, has some credibility, let's say from IIT, IIM, something like that, should be a co-founder or a member of your team. Like, try getting in someone senior. This one problem which I faced is credibility, and the second problem which I faced was, uh, let's say, sorry, the second problem was that you actually don't have that much knowledge and yeah, the credibility basically. So try to make your part-time startup work as a full-time one. And the day your part-time efforts become a full-time effort, you will achieve financial freedom. Trust me, the process is very tedious, but it is also very enjoyable. You get to learn a lot of things. So let's say if you want to achieve financial freedom from a job, okay, it will take you 5 to 10 years. This is also a very approximate number. Like, 5 to 10 years is still less for you to achieve financial freedom, that too from a job, that too in India especially. It if you started at a very young age, like let's say 20s and all, then it is possible for you to get financial freedom at a very young age. But then again, you can get grants from, like, let's say, if you get 5 to 10,000 at the beginning, and let's say after 5 to 10 years your salary is increased to 50,000 or 80,000. But we also have to consider inflation into this. Okay, so it is very tedious to get financial freedom from a job. Whereas if I work for a startup idea and it has potential and I can achieve, like, let's say, based on the execution, 3 से 4 महीना लगता है, let's say, if I put in 3 to 4 months, तो जितना जल्दी रिजल्ट आएगा उतने जल्दी मेरी फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम अचीव होगी. एंड इट इज ऑल्सो वाइज वर्सा. ओके, आई एम ऑल्सो telling you the flip side of having a startup. Not everyone can become a entrepreneur. Not everyone has that drive to become an entrepreneur. It's very tedious. You have to go through a lot of hardships. It's not that easy. Like, जैसे start Shark Tank अगर कोई देखता रहेगा कि you pitch your idea and you get fundings. That's not that easy. You have to, like, attend 150, like, thousands of investor pitches. You have to pitch so many investors there. You have to pitch in your ideas, and फिर भी आपको success मिलना is not guaranteed. So startup is not for everyone. So I have learned few things a very hard way, because I am having my own startup as well. So I would like to share my personal experience on this. Okay. So number one is, again, diversify your income into multiple sources. This is like number one thing. You can't put in your money just into stock market. Like, although my majority money goes towards stock market, I won't lie, 80% goes towards stock market. But then again, 20% I have like 10% to 10% towards mutual fund, 5% towards crypto and gold. So that's how you should diversify your income into multiple sources. And having an emergency fund, oh my god, how can I forget this? Even if you are an individual, even if you are an entrepreneur, you should have a backup of 6 to 8 months, or let's say 12 months, in your emergency fund. An emergency fund, as in, you can save it in your liquid assets. Okay. Now you can put it in your debt mutual funds. So someone said Shark Tank India is equal to daily soap. My point of view. Exactly. It's so addictive. Like, I can't even tell you how much do I watch it. I've watched every single episode. I do follow everyone on social media as well. But yeah, getting back to the point, look out for better investment opportunities. So irrespective of you being into stock market, or investing into businesses, or investing into gold, you have to look out for better investment opportunities. uh, there is this, I shouldn't be promoting this at this point, but there is this website, fund basically, which invest in art, wines, etc. So I have invested in that, and I have made immense amount of returns out of that. So having a diversified yet a better investment approach is very necessary to grow your wealth. And then again, I use that money for not only for my personal use, but also for my startup. Now comes down to point number 3, that make sure that you manage your funds in a short term, well, in your short term, as well as, you should see your long term vision as well. Now what I mean by this point is, so suppose I am working in a company, although I'm not, but let's take an example that I'm working in a company, and I am working amazingly. Like, they are giving me pay raises, they are putting me towards a head position, but I shouldn't be deviated that I am working for my own startup. I can't, be a head at something if they are promoting me towards a different position just because of my skill set. You are not working because you want to do a job, you are working because you want to fund your startup, right? So don't deviate, even if you get higher position, higher status, higher power in that particular company, because you know your skill set and you are building your own startup. So focus on the long term vision is what is my point. Now comes down to point number 4. This, again, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's a very hard journey. Everybody can't actually sacrifice their youth. I'm not talking just youth are building businesses, but majority, as far as I have seen, people are actually, uh, youths are actually building startups majoritarily right now at this point of time. So not many people are very serious about this. So make sure that you put your heart and soul into what you are building. uh, just don't focus on, getting things done from other people. Like, of course outsourcing is a thing, but you need to do your own thing as well. So this is the point number 4. Point number 5 is avoid responsibilities. I don't mean in a way to avoid responsibilities from your work or your job or your career or your ambitions. Avoid responsibilities like getting into a relationship if it's taking too much of mental toll. Okay, if it's consuming too much of yourself or your mental toll, then don't get in such a relationship where you are deviating from your careers and your ambitions. Avoid marriages. Although we all are college students, but I've seen my friends having marriage plans at such a young age when they actually should have career plans. But anyway, and responsibilities not in just terms of relationships and marriages, but also liabilities, we can say, like a car or a house rent. Avoid such kind of liabilities. If you can stay in your parents' house, try to stay in there, even if it's torturing, even if it's my dad is watching me. Even if it's time, a little bit hard, still try to stay at your own house. uh, don't take too much of liability, don't take too much of responsibilities. You are too young. And yeah, this is the 5th point. 6th point is just don't be rigid. Diversify your knowledge. So let's say if you are working for your own startup, okay, and let's say my role in this startup is doing finance. So I want to be this rigid that हाँ मेरा रोल फाइनेंस का है तो मैं सिर्फ फाइनेंस ही करूंगी. You also need to look towards marketing side. You also need to look towards the tech side. If you're building something related to tech, you have to look towards every background. You have to get knowledge about every single niche that your startup requires. You can't just sit here that मैं फाइनेंस ही करूंगी भाई बस हो गया, इससे ज्यादा मेरे से नहीं होगा. ये नहीं कर सकते हो आप. आपको हर डिवीजन में देखना पड़ेगा. आउटसोर्स कर दोगे बट फिर भी मैनेज तो आपको ही करना है. सो जस्ट डोंट बी रिजिड. दैट्स ऑल. Last to last, like, these were the major points. I hope you have noted this down because these have helped me so much, and these are from my own personal experiences, of course. So again, a last thing that which I want you guys to tell me is, चलो दिल पे हाथ रख के बोलो कि सोचो कि आपके पास 1 करोड़ रुपया है, तो मैं इसमें से इसका क्या करूंगा या करूंगी. वो बस मुझे लिख के भेज दो इधर कि what will I do if I have 1 crore rupees out of that. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Tab tak I'll address the questions here. So one guy asked, Vignesh asked me that, what are your views on bootstrapping funding? So bootstrap funding matlab ki you are funding, like you are putting in money from your friends and family. You know, at the initial stage, you won't get funding from VCs and angel, right? So you are putting your own money, from your friends or your family. So basically the initial money that you put in is called bootstrap funding, which is necessary in every startup. You have to put in money. You can't, like, yeah, there are some startups which does not require initial capital, but yeah, majority startups do. Oh, hi, can you use Hindi as well? हाँ, मैंने try किया हिंदी में भी मैं present करूँ जितना हो सके. I kept it English, but I hope the points are clear. Okay. I will keep half of my savings and half in different investments. Okay. Buy an asset of any kind and invest in gold. Okay, gold and real estate is not the only place that you should be investing. Like gold is, like अगर मेरे investment portfolio की बात करूँ मैं, तो gold hardly has 2% of my investment portfolio into this. Real estate takes too much of your capital. Plus, when it comes to residential properties, it does not even beat inflation. It haven't grown since past 5 years. It haven't grown or beaten inflation. Commercial properties can be considered when it comes to real estate, but it for people like you who are so young, until unless your father is not rich, it's not a good idea to start with real estate. Of course, there are funds and all which you can go ahead with, but make sure that you choose wisely. Doing MBA, bhai, okay. I have no words. Who's this Abhishek? Nice. That's the last thing I would like to recommend. Do MBA. Don't do MBA, please. If you're doing, by the way, do it from a top tier college, okay? Sachin is laughing. I guess he's gonna do MBA for sure. Right? If I had 1 crore, I have 4 startup ideas currently in my mind. I would work on those and would reach to an incubator and an accelerator. Okay, 4 startup ideas के लिए, do you know how much time will it consume? एक स्टार्टअप आइडिया के लिए काम करते करते सालों निकल जाते हैं और जान निकल जाती है. 4 स्टार्टअप पे काम करोगे. नाइस. 1 crore business, 50% investment in risky portfolios, stable. Yeah, this is called asset allocation. Okay, who's this? Arun Yadav. Yeah, nicely done, dude. Yeah, this is how you should also do your allocation based on percentages and based on your risk appetite and your capital. Invest in self-development and remaining in stocks and liquid investments. या सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट इज नेसेसरी. बिना स्किल्स के आपका स्टार्टअप भी काम नहीं करेगा, आपका जॉब भी काम नहीं करेगा, कुछ काम नहीं करेगा. सो या सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट इज अ मस्ट. Will invest some amount on learning and will put some money in different sources. Yeah, exactly. And rest I will save for emergency fund. So you should have from the very beginning when you don't even have a startup, like when you're just planning, executing things, where you are planning that now I have to leave my job, like at some point of time. मैं 2 साल बाद या 1 साल बाद मैं जॉब छोड़ रही हूँ. At that point of time, you should have a start creating emergency fund from a very young age. Like अगर आप सेकेंड ईयर में हो, थोड़ा थोड़ा इनकम में आ रहा है, इमरजेंसी फंड में बिल्ड करो. क्योंकि जब आपका जॉब लग जाएगा या फिर आपका मेजर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम आएगा, तब यू विल बी लाइक कि शिट, इतना पैसा तो मैं इमरजेंसी फंड में ही डाल रहा हूँ, इन्वेस्ट कब करूंगा, इमरजेंसी फंड कब बिल्ड करूंगा. सो स्टार्ट अर्ली. इन्वेस्ट मत करो चाहिए तो एट अ यंग एज इफ यू डोंट हैव मच कैपिटल, बट इमरजेंसी फंड बिल्ड करो. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लाइक आई कांट इवन exaggerate more on this topic, but it's very important. I'm talking about commercial properties. Yeah, of course, commercial properties are great, but if you have capital, then that's great. If you don't, then that doesn't make sense. Diversify my portfolio and 30% in business. What are your thoughts on NFTs and its future, at least in India? Is it worth the effort? Okay, I need to take another whole webinar on this if I keep talking about NFTs here. But yeah, I do believe NFTs are the future. But again, it's very risky. We can't even predict where like it's not a sensible example to give. But let's say we talk about Clubhouse. App है एक Clubhouse करके, जो काफी ट्रेंड कर रहा था लॉकडाउन में, बट इट गॉट एंडेड. लाइक अब तो नाम भी नहीं सुनते हम क्लब हाउस का. सो दिस कैन बी दैट ऑल्सो. मेन क्वेश्चन, हाउ टू अर्न मनी. उसके आगे ऐड कर दो लर्न स्किल्स एंड मनी विल फॉलो. Can we consider investment in stocks as emergency? No ways. Like this is okay. So the question is, can we consider investment in stocks as emergency fund? So this is like, stocks are so risky that even I won't suggest investing in a mutual fund, especially equity. Debt mutual funds still can be considered for emergency funds, which are safe and risk free. But equity mutual funds are also not a place where you should keep your emergency fund. You should keep your emergency fund in liquid assets like gold or cash or fixed deposit. तो फिर भी नहीं. I have kept some money into fixed deposit, although, but just for emergency purpose and not a huge amount. Baki debt mutual funds can also do for emergency funds. So I guess, yeah, Sagar, Sachin, sorry. Let's get to the question side.
I just think that everyone is putting in their questions in the chat, so we can continue with that if they want, and like we can continue with those. The core team is working on questions, so core team, you can put in your questions, whatever we have received in advance. So like put in one question at a time, and I think she can address it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gia, are you there?
Yes.
So can you hear us?
Yeah, you're all on.
So Gia, I think your voice is breaking a bit. So Bhavika, you can go ahead with it. Just take questions, select some questions from the chat, and we Ashna could address it. Okay, guys, if you have whatever questions you have, this is the time. Put it in the chat. Ashna will take time. We are a bit short on time, so we just have 15 minutes. So let's try to wrap all the questions in that time. And I am sorry if we can't take your question ahead of that. Okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as one of the girl asked before that, investing in stocks as emergency fund, is it fine? So
Yeah.
similar question is there, can we invest in REIT as emergency fund?
Again, REITs are still risky. Like, the value can go down any single time if the property's value goes down. So it's not a good option to invest in REITs as an emergency fund. But if you want to diversify your investments, then REITs can be an option.
And then, like, what about PPF?
Yeah, PPF, actually no, PPF also couldn't be a right option for emergency fund because the lock-in period is of 15 years. Okay, and when we talk about emergency fund, अगर 2 साल में मेरे को emergency आती है तो मैं थोड़ी अपना PPF account खुलवा सकती हूँ. I'll be penalized for it, right? That also doesn't make sense.
Okay, Namrata Gupta is asking, can you suggest the name of some stocks to invest, especially for beginners or for students?
Okay, so okay, I won't be suggesting or recommending any stocks because I am completely against trading or investing on tips. So sorry guys, I won't be able to reply this question.
Okay, here Akash Menon is stuck.
But again, I can give you a tip that blue chip companies are great to invest in, which is less risky as compared to mid cap or small caps. So if you're looking for safer options, then go for blue chip stocks like HDFC or Reliance. Again, won't take the names. But yeah.
Yeah, as you answered one question before to Arun that how to earn money. So you told add that learn some skills and be capable or something like that.
Yeah.
So someone who is stuck in loop with this thing, how to learn skills, because to learn marketing skills or communication skills or maybe business skills, you have
Mhm.
a job, but for jobs you ultimately need some skills. So that's the loop.
No, you don't need to have job. Job is for giving you practical experiences. Okay. When it comes to theoretical, schools क्या कर रही है अभी? Books दे के तुमको पढ़वा रही है, ठीक है? So the better option to that is work learning through YouTube videos. YouTube is my all one time like thing that I absolutely rely on when it comes to my education personally. Self education, you can say. YouTube is number one. Again, there are courses on Udemy as well that provide you so much of great information. Like I'm telling you, schools also won't provide you with such great amount of क्या बोलते हैं, skills or learning experiences. Although what happens is we take courses and we keep it to ourselves, like कल करूंगी, we keep procrastinating things. So instead of doing that, just put yourself into a time horizon that I have to do this in this amount of period, and not just ratifying it, but actually sitting and understanding the whole thing. Because if something interests you or if you're passionate about something, I'm sure ki you won't be just ratifying it just like we do in schools and colleges.
Yeah, and if someone is interested into like stock marketing or something, so which site would you suggest to learn the things?
Right now, I suggested you one, Varsity by Zero. That's amazing. Like, if you all know it, then that's amazing. Like, that's the one source that you can rely on. Apart from that, Udemy is great. My voice is repeating.
Echoing.
From yourself.
Do you have some other Zoom meeting? Me or your device?
Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine.
Yeah, now it's
Now it's fine.
Yeah.
Bhavika, turn on your one device. Yeah, so I just have one question for you, if I can ask in between. So, you said that I've also tried to, forecast my startup to different investors, and how that being with an investor, how it feels like being in that conference room, and every time they ask you some of the out of the box questions.
Yeah.
So, how was your experience at that time? Like because it is a similar experience or not? I just want to know about it.
Okay. So we usually go as a group of three. So if I am not able to answer a particular question, other teammate of mine or other co-founder of mine will come in and answer it. Or if you are not, like usually, since lockdown is happening, I have just in a majority we have just done online meets. So you can just, if I don't know the question, I just say ki let's discuss this further on WhatsApp. Since due to few reasons, but we usually don't do this. Okay, either one of my co-founder replies, or either we try to escape from that question by cross questioning that question to them. So we usually try to use this technique of cross questioning. And when it comes to investor pitch, you of course know in and out about your business. Okay, so ऐसा काफी कम time आएगा जहाँ पे you won't be able to answer, or you won't be able to reply to a particular question. Baki, you just have to pitch in your startup. You just have to explain them the whole idea about what you're working on, how you're working on. And we also have a lot of things ready in our Excel sheet too. Like when it comes to, fundings and all, whenever they ask us for a cash burnout sheet, we also have that ready, that if you are raising suppose X amount of money, how are you going to use that?
Sorry for inconvenience. It's someone's from next.
Oh, no issues. Yeah, so that's how I tackle my question.
Hello, is it happening with my voice as well, or I can continue?
No.
Okay, cool. So Akash Manin is asking that obviously theoretical knowledge which we have talked about right now is not much often used. But to not have theoretical knowledge and to have practical knowledge, you will have to do some jobs. So like, what's your suggestion on this?
Okay, so college always provides us with internship opportunities. So working, even I told you, right, you it's not necessary for you to work just for money. You can do unpaid internships as well if you want to actually get the experience, if you actually want to get the knowledge apart from just theoretical ones. Then working in an internship or a startup would actually do, like, you have that much amount of experience. At the beginning, no one is going to give you a full-time job until and unless you have experience or you have networks. Okay, which is very clear. So try with internships, do work in startups to get your practical knowledge. And when it comes to theory, it's not that कि अगर Udemy पे course कर रहे हो या YouTube पे course कर रहे हो, like let's say you are listening to a video, it's just going to be theoretical. These days YouTube and Udemy have gone miles. So let's say if you're learning about trading, okay, so just by looking at the theory part, you won't be able to understand until and unless you put in your own money into this. So take minimum risk.
Continue, Ashwin, we're looking good.
Yeah, so take minimum risk and then proceed ahead with the practical thing. Like just put in small amount while trading and then go ahead with it. Just don't put in ki pura ka pura capital blowout kar diya. And also there are tips that these guys give you, that use stop loss while trading and all. So yeah.
More question from Arun. He's asking, skill matters, so does opportunity. And here comes the creditability part. Whenever we try to get paid, it matters where you can grab the opportunity and what it is necessary that you will get paid. Any experience of yours? How did you earn your first 1,000 or 10,000?
Oh, can you repeat the question?
Arun is ultimately asking you, like, what is necessary that, whatever work or internship you are doing will get paid. As you mentioned that, in your early stages, it's not compulsory that you will get paid or something. You can work for experience. So he's asking what is necessary that you will get paid, what skills you should have, something like that. And how did you earn your first 1,000 or 10,000 rupees?
Okay, so when it comes down to skills, okay, when you do internships, you won't get paid, or you will get paid for some little amount of money, okay, which also adds up to your portfolio, that I have worked with this company, or I have worked with this particular brand. So this, like, one brand you have worked for free, second brand you will charge a little amount of money, third brand you will again go towards increasing some amount of money, and the process goes on. So that's how your portfolio is built around. Maybe your first one won't be profitable for you, won't be, but at least it will give you knowledge. Like, seek knowledge, seek skills, don't seek money. Money will follow if you have skills. So I will always suggest that just focus on building your skills, developing your own self development है ना, तो पैसे की कमी कभी नहीं होगी. And talking about how I earned my first dollar, it's through my Instagram account. I was creating content since 17. I used to create content on YouTube, okay, and I know how terrible speaker I was at that point of time. Trust me, I still watch my videos and I still laugh at them so much, but I'm very proud of myself that from that stage to this stage where I don't even use much fillers while I speak. Like earlier, I used to speak so many times that it was so frustrating even to hear. So the first one will be a learning experience. It won't give you profits, but it will surely help you with your personal growth.
Yeah. Vignesh, you have raised your hand. You wanna ask something?
Yeah, I have one question. Like, when we are with an just give me a second. I'm just blank right now for a moment.
Yeah, no issues, bro.
Okay. Yeah, till you remember the question, we'll take one more. Sanchit is asking like how to find startups, like if you wanna work with them and how to contact them.
I lost you for a few seconds.
Okay. The question is how to find startups and how to contact them.
How to find like you want to work in a startup.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a lot of posts put on LinkedIn that we are looking for content creators, we are looking for this full stack developers, we are looking for this, that. There's so many posts like we are looking for this and that. You just have to create your own resume and put it outside. Internshala also provides you with so many opportunities. Instagram now these days also put out, so many creators put out that we are looking for video editors, we are looking for this, that. So it's easy to find. It's just that you need to be quick as you can and as skilled as you can. Like once I see your resume, I should be like, yeah, this guy will be helpful even if you are a fresher.
Okay.
And apart from that, okay, let me give you an example, okay, from my own personal experience.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a video editor and I didn't even posted it. I was just thinking that one day I'll post. So this one guy sent me a edit of my personal video without even thinking that isne pay nahi kiya hai mujhe or something like that. So he just sent me a video of my own reel, which was so brilliant, and I was also amazed by looking at his skills. So you can do that even when it comes to website design. You can put in your you can design their company's website and send it across to that company, and if they like it, they can proceed ahead with you. It's just a bit extra effort, but it will be worth it if it has to be.
Yeah.
I remember my question. Shall I move ahead with that, Bhavika?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like you said about that work with a different startup, and when we come as an early startup, to work with an early founder. So, there is always like we should go for a stake, that early employer stake, that 7% or something that might we get, and we never get to paid off for that. So what do you think we should go with? We should go for a salary based or we should go for a stake based? So what are your suggestions to us?
It is completely a personal choice, but if I was you, I would have seen the potential in the business. If I see that it's worth it, if it's worth putting my own credibility into that or my own skills into that particular thing, and it's going to help me learn better and better, and that idea has potential, then I'll surely go towards stakes. But if I feel that it's always a learning experience यार. मतलब हर जगह जाते हो ना आप, कुछ तो सीख के आओगे, भले ही छोटी चीज हो बट सीख के आओगे. सो या इट इज अ पर्सनल थिंग. अगर आपको स्टेक्स पे जाना है, आपको बिजनेस पोटेंशियल लग रहा है कि हाँ भाई तगड़ा बिजनेस है, करते हैं, देन गो फॉर स्टेक्स. और एल्स जस्ट वर्क देयर एज एन एम्प्लॉय, गेट ऑन ईसॉप्स. और स्टार्टिंग में तो अर्ली स्टेज में तो सैलरी मिलेगी नहीं, भूल जाओ. या तो ईसॉप्स देंगे या तो स्टेक्स देंगे. सो डोंट एक्सपेक्ट सैलरीज until unless it's as short or small as 5 to 10,000. 10 is also big, yeah. 5,000 is enough.
Relatable. Thank you. 5 बोला तो ही बहुत अच्छा लगा. 3 is starting.
Exactly यार.
2.5.
हमको जान पे आ रहा था 5 दिन में भी, जब
Sachin
हम
is laughing.
खुद ढूंढ रहे थे एम्प्लॉयज. So we were like going towards ESOPs. But ESOPs is also nice अगर यार कंपनी पोटेंशियल दिखता है, आपको पोटेंशियल उसमें दिखता है तो ग्रेट यार।
Yeah.
अभी नायका का ही एग्जांपल ले लो, ईसॉप्स पे कितने लोगों का मिलियंस में चले गया था, सो इट्स वर्थ।
Yeah, Tanuj, go ahead.
Yeah, there was one question related to crypto as an investment. I wanted to ask, like, something which we hear from mostly from Western creators on YouTube is that go for something which is ultra risky in crypto, like which will go to the moon, kind of they say, right? So should we
Dogecoin.
go, yeah, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coin, something like that. So should we actually invest in those kind of cryptocurrencies, or should we go for something which is slowly climbing in its market?
Okay, I want Sachin to answer. Okay. Okay, let's not go personal. But yeah.
In my defense, I still have those coins.
Exactly. This is dumb people. Sorry. But anyways, it is actually dependent on you. Like, अगर आप काफी risky person हो, like where you are okay with taking so much of risk and you're okay with taking speculation, then put in थोड़ा सा amount into such speculative or highly ultra risky cryptocurrencies. Like अगर मेरा budget 5,000 का है crypto में, अगर मैं 5,000 डालती हूँ, I am okay with risking 1,000 rupees into speculation. Like okay, 1,000 चले भी गया, 5,000 तो ऐसे ही जाने हैं, क्रिप्टो है, ठीक है, आए जाए, आई डोंट केयर, 5,000 तो ऐसे ही जाने, 1,000 तो पक्का जाने हैं। तो ऐसे स्ट्रैटेजी में सोचो कि भाई अगर आप लगा रहे हो इतना तो एक्सपेक्ट मत करो कि ये बढ़ेगा, बढ़ा तो टू द मून चांदी, बट नहीं बढ़ा तो यू नो व्हाट इट इज।
Arun was getting Bitcoin for 28 rupees a long back time.
Damn.
Okay, maybe one more last question, I guess. If there are any more questions or queries, you all can put down. Here's one question. YouTube channel recommendation other than Ankur Wariko and Rachna.
Okay, Sashank Uduppa, one of my favorites. He is also into crypto, NFT, stock markets. Are you talking about just finance or apart from like every niche, like educational niche? Because I usually watch just finance, so I am much aware about those people. Apart from that, Akshat Srivastava, he's an amazing finance YouTuber. Yeah, booming bulls for share market and investing. Yeah, these are all into trading. This booming bulls is into trading. But I'm talking about fundamentals because I'm sticking to that part for now. Trading is too risky for me, so I won't go there.
Yeah, Sachin.
Yeah, so like you talked about, like I just want to clarify. So the amount we resort for our emergency fund, if it is a 6 months income, which I'm generally earn, should like I save it or can I invest it? And if I can invest it, what are the liquid ways to invest it so that when I have that emergency, I can take it out, but it is also safe and like it won't go down from the amount that I had kept it.
Look, every investment is risky, okay? Even gold can go down, but we know that gold is a stable currency. But when it comes to emergency fund, okay, either you can keep it in cash, okay? Diversifying emergency fund is also a thing. Like put some amount in cash, put some amount in gold, put some amount in fixed deposit. Although fixed deposit is not a thing that you should be, you will again get penalized if you break your FDs. So it could be an option, but I avoid it as of now. I've like invested a few amount, but okay. Apart from that, debt mutual funds, where credit rating funds are there. Although these are also risky, okay. You can't say they are zero risk, but there are funds like liquid funds out there, liquid debt mutual funds, which you can invest in. So these are less risky, but your money is safe.
Cool. Any other? Yeah, Vignesh has one question. So that will be our last question since there are no questions in the chat, and then we can go ahead.
And it's just a bit of funny question. Like, you are of our age only, like we are 21, 22, and being some businessman or having, working with a startup, दोस्तों की हमेशा ख्वाहिश होती है कि भाई आज ये पार्टी देगा. So what are your views on this? Like how we should manage that fundings, like friends birthday parties होते हैं या बहुत कुछ होता है, meetup plans होते हैं. So what about that fundings? Because that fundings are pretty much invested कि वो हम लोग को सेव करना लगता है. Like सचिन जितना हंस रहा है उतना उस हिसाब से कुछ तो बता दो आंसर. So how should we manage that funding? That's my question.
ओके यार मैं खुद मैनेज करती हूँ बोल के कि यार बर्थडे को पक्का दूंगी, अभी नहीं दे सकती. या तो आप जस्ट शिफ्ट योर डेट कि हाँ एक दिन दूंगी करते करते आगे लेके जाओ कि जब तक वो भूल जाए बंदा. ठीक है, एक ये कर सकते हो आप. दूसरा, अगर आपको देना ही है तो एक बजट निकालो कि भाई 2000 तक दूंगा, उसके आगे हुआ तो कॉन्ट्रो निकलेगा. एक ये कर सकते हो आप. सो आई डू दिस. मैं तो अवॉइड ही करती देना. हाँ, हंस मत सचिन, तुझे दिया है.
Thanks for the plan. सचिन यही plan implement करता है.
Done.
Okay. If there are no more questions, then thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing all the questions. And we are so sorry if you missed upon your presentation. You might have prepared all the time, went into answering the questions. But yeah, we are thankful for the same. And on a concluding note, I will hand over to Tanuj Ghosh to deliver a vote of thanks.
Okay, on a concluding note, I want to say go follow the Money Dancer. I'm sure you will get a lot of insights.
Surely, ma'am. We will share
On
your
Instagram.
Instagram page link with our team for sure.
It was very interesting. Got a lot of questions which were so interesting. It was fun session. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, Tanuj.
Thank you so much, Bhavika and Ashna ma'am. It was really insightful. I have written everything you said about the startup and entrepreneurs, all that thing. Now I will implement in our council as well. Take care.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Again, guys, please do follow the Money Dancer page, and please do follow our page as well. We also put up related to startup and incubation. Okay. And on this note, I would like to also extend my gratitude to our respected principal, ma'am, Dr. Pradnya Prabhu, ma'am, and our convener of IISc, Jaideep sir, for supporting and encouraging us, and Mr. Santosh Kundu sir for technical support, and last but not the least, all the participants for being here, for being such an interactive and lovely audience, and making this webinar so successful. Thank you, everyone. And please do fill the feedback form that we have shared in the chat box so that you get your e-certificates. And thank you once again, Ashna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for conducting such great events. I think this is such an important topic for every Gen Zs, you can say.
Thank you, Ashna.
Bye guys. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your knowledge definitely will help our students to grow
Amazing.
in that.
I hope it does.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
all
you.
participants. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, y'all. You guys can fill up the feedback form. We'll keep the link active for 5 minutes, so you guys can go to the link and fill the feedback form. The e-certificates will be mailed to your email ID directly that you fill in the feedback form. So please make sure that you fill in the right email IDs. We'll keep the meeting on for 5 minutes. If you are done filling the feedback form, you can leave the meeting. Thank you for being there, guys.
Well, then everyone could just turn on the camera for a photo, maybe.
Oh, yeah. We could, guys, if you can please turn on your cameras so that we can take a screenshot. Come on, yes.
Yeah, I want every ISC member to on the camera.
Turn on the camera. Yes.
And former
Just-
ISC member as well.
If you could just wait for a second, I will ask Ashna also to rejoin. Yeah.
I have actually took one photo with her, but yeah, everyone was
Oh.
not there.
Wait just a second. Please join in just a second, Sheila. We switched off her PC. Just give her a time. We can take some screenshots till then. You guys keep your camera on.
Everyone smile.
Smile, everyone.
Done.
Bhavika done?
Yes, sir.
Bhavika?
Yeah, no, sir, no,
Yeah.
sir.
Hi,
Sir,
hi.
Ashna. For photo session.
Thank you, Ash.
Which is my favorite part again.
Okay, okay. Smile,
Smile,
everyone.
I think we are done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And all the participants, please do follow our page. We are coming up with another event soon, and please follow our page for the further details.
Thank you everyone. I think we can end the session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
Santosh,
just wait for 2 minutes. Let everyone get the links for Instagram and
yeah, we are sending that links through our feedback form also.
yeah.
Everyone, please do fill the feedback form.
Sachin, can I leave? Sachin, can I leave? I have another
yes,
meeting.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you for being.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
for
Thank
coming.
you so much. Great
We'll just end the meeting.
organized and great effort.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sachin, should we send the feedback form in the group as well?
Guys, we are
Yeah,
on
we
live on a
just
YouTube. I think we shall
yeah.
end this meeting and